Across the globe, Peaky Blinders has been keeping fans glued to their screens since September 2013. The show is currently in its 5th season and fans are eagerly awaiting the release of the 6th. As with all shows, a lot of actors audition for lead roles, but we don't necessarily know who has auditioned for which roles. We more often than not fall in love with the chosen actors in character, and that's that. But wouldn't you like to know who the other actors are that auditioned for Peaky Blinders? It might make you think twice about how much you adore the current actors, or make you adore them more. But before I get into all the details, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos that we post. The British period crime drama series is set in Birmingham, England in 1919. The series follows the exploits of the Shelby crime family in the direct aftermath of the First World War. Peaky Blinders gang is led by their ambitious and highly cunning boss Tommy Shelby, who was very nearly played by someone else. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Peaky Blinders features an ensemble cast led by Cillian Murphy as Tommy Shelby, Helen McCrory as Polly Gray, Joe Cole as John Shelby, and Paul Anderson as Arthur Shelby. Some of the recurring roles are also played by Sam Neill, Tom Hardy, Paddy Considine, and Anya Taylor-Joy. The show premiered in September 2013 as a BBC original drama, but its popularity prompted Netflix to buy the rights and rework it to a Netflix original series. The highly anticipated 6th season has been delayed a bit due to the global health situation, but is expected to air sometime later this year, according to reports. Season 1 kicks off with the Shelby gang coming to the attention of Major Chester Campbell, a detective chief inspector in the British Irish Constabulary sent over by Winston Churchill from Belfast, where he had been sent to clean up the city of the Irish Republican Army, communists, gangs, and common criminals. The first season also covers Winston Churchill charging Major Campbell with suppressing disorder and uprising in Birmingham and recovering a stolen cache of arms meant to be shipped to Libya. The second season sees the Shelby family expand their criminal organization in the south and north while maintaining a stronghold in their Birmingham heartland. The third season starts and ends in 1924 as it follows Tommy and his family entering an even more dangerous world as they once again expand, this time internationally. The fourth season begins on Christmas Eve in 1925 and ends following the general strike of May 1926, with Tommy using Jesse Eden for information and being elected as a member of parliament in 1927. The fifth season begins 2 years later on the 29th of October 1929, also referred to as Black Tuesday, and ends on the 7th of December 1929, the morning after a rally led by fascist leader Oswald Mosley. As for the 6th season, we'll leave the spoilers for another video. So who do you think auditioned for the role of Tommy Shelby, besides Cillian Murphy, that is? The show's creator, Stephen Knight, has revealed that the role almost went to none other than the transporter action man Jason Statham. Jason actually used to work as a street seller before he got famous, so he would have fit right into the role. Stevenson says, "I met them both, Cillian and Jason, in LA to talk about the role and opted for Jason." Speaking to Esquire magazine during a Peaky Blinders watch-along in early 2020, Steven explained that one of the reasons was because physically in the room, Jason is Jason. So it sounds like one of the primary reasons that Steven opted for Jason over Cillian was due to the actor's general hardman presence. So if Steven was so dead set on casting Jason in the role of Tommy, how did Cillian end up with the role? Well, after the trio's meeting, Cillian sent Steven a text which read, "Remember, I'm an actor," and this is absolutely the thing that landed him the role, because he can transform himself, and he reminds Steven of just that. Steven admits that if you meet him, Cillian, in the street, he is totally a different human being. Cillian had to adapt quite a bit to his role. While Tommy Shelby is a heavy smoker, Cillian is not a smoker at all. Tommy is rarely seen without a cigarette in his mouth in the show. In an interview, Cillian revealed that he used the herbal rose variant and smoked like 5 a day. He also asked the prop guys to count how many cigarettes they used during a season, and the count is around 3,000 to date. That's a lot of roses. Whilst it would have been interesting to see Jason step into the role of Tommy Shelby, it's very hard to imagine him pulling off a Brummy accent, right? After all, even diehard fans of Jason will admit that accents are not his strong point. As for the other actors, well, a few of them have some really embarrassing Peaky Blinder audition stories, like Natasha O'Keefe, who plays Lizzie Stark. Natasha says she met the casting director and auditioned for the role, which was initially a very small part. At some point during the audition, she placed her foot on the table to do her lace up. She says she immediately regretted it because it made absolutely no sense, yet at the same time it kind of worked. And we guess it did because she landed the part. Sophie Rundle also thought she could kiss her chance at a role goodbye when she had a home die mishap the day before audition, yet it turned out great. Sophie plays the character of Ada Shelby, and the role is actually her very first acting job. She says she was straight out of drama school and decided to do a tape just to try it out. Much to her surprise, she received a call back. She tells Express that she was really poor at the time, but wanted to dye her hair for the audition because she imagined the character Ada had darker hair. But because she did it out of the box, her hair came out much darker than she was expecting, and she didn't have the money to fix it, so she just sort of went with it. Though she says she looked like a vampire. We're quite sure she didn't really look that bad. But while we're on the the topic of interesting facts, did you know that while the Shelby family is fictional, they are loosely based on the real urban youth gang of the same name? The real-life gang was active in Birmingham from the 1890s to the early 20th century, and Stephen Knight believes that his family was part of the Peaky Blinders. Of course, they weren't actually called that, nor were they called the Shelbys, but apparently in real life they were called the Sheldons. It was the stories that his father told him as a child that inspired the series. Speaking to a portal, Stephen said that this one was the one that started it. One of the stories that really made me want to write Peaky Blinders is one my dad told me. Ever wondered how the actors prepared for the roles? Helen McCrory, who plays Polly Gray, says she learned how to speak with a Birmingham accent by watching various clips of Ozzy Osbourne. The Black Sabbath vocalist is one of Birmingham's most popular natives after all. Something else you probably didn't know is that Joe Cole, who plays the role of John Shelby, is actually the older brother of Finn Cole, who plays the role of Michael Gray. However, John Shelby's character was killed off in season 4. Michael Gray's character was introduced in season 2 and still appeared in season 5. While some reports state season 6 will air during the second half of 2021, others state it'll be more likely out to be early 2022. We can, however, confirm that filming of season 6 commenced in January this year, but unfortunately, that's the only concrete thing we have. Well, that and how the entire series will end, or shall we say when, Stephen Knight has confirmed that even though he wanted to produce a 7th season, season 6 will be the show's last, and he plans for it to end when the air raid sirens of World War II begin. He did, however, also tell Deadline that he still plans to follow up the series finale with a movie, as was his plan right from the start. While Stephen hasn't given any details on the exact premise of the movie, it would seem a logical extension for the show, which has become its own industry, or as Stephen calls it, a beast that will not die. And it's quite a fitting analogy, seeing that there has been tie-in books, clothing lines, an official soundtrack, and even a video game. Stephen says he has also been approached about a spin-off ballad version and a West End musical. It would be interesting to see who he casts for the movie, right? Maybe he'll take a gamble on Jason Statham after all, or will he choose to stick with his original cast? Thanks for watching. We hope you liked the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Till next time.